We're back. This is another episode of the Saturday Afternoon Movie Club. It's me, Geoff, from Instagram. You guys know me. We're here with the usual cohorts, Soft J in real life over here. What's up? What's up, Bjorn? How are you?
What's up?
And Randall, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Good.
Have we settled on these as nicknames?
I love it.
I
think
fine
it's
with
so
it.
funny.
Right. My Jeff that's a soft G also.
Yeah.
But soft G and soft J have very different sounds.
Hard G.
Hard G is good, right?
Then he's Geoff.
Yeah, no, and that part will be edited. Well, you can leave that part in as long as you leave in the part where I slap him for saying it. Everybody gets one free one. This ain't the 7th grade. I don't have to take it anymore. Mr. Lawrence. That's right. It was always the teachers that ruined it for me. So we're here today to talk about Dante's Peak, a volcano movie in the summer of volcano movies, 97. Well, this one came out early, February of 97. Before we do this part, I like what we did last time when we talked. Like, have you guys seen what was the last movie you watched that wasn't for this?
I actually went and saw a movie with John last night.
What was it?
We saw Mickey 17.
Mickey 17. How was it?
I liked it. I liked it. People didn't, and I see why, but I liked it.
Why? I mean, what could you? I mean, that guy's batting 1,000 as far as I'm concerned.
Which one?
Bong Joon-ho is batting 1,000. He's
Parasite.
everyone I've seen is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 I haven't, but
Do you know which ones? Like The Host and Memories of Murder, I'm guessing.
No, those two are in my library. Like those two I've seen a
those
bunch.
movies rip.
The one with the barking dog, like the really early one about the guy in the apartment where he's in an apartment building and there's a dog barking and it drives him crazy. He can't find it, and then I'm just guessing there's 2.
There's Okja too.
Okja, I didn't see that one, the big fat pig one.
Yeah, that one made me cry at the end.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
It's a bummer.
Snowpiercer, The Host, Memories of Murder, Parasite. I mean, these are classics. Like, they're masterpieces.
Yeah.
Memories of Murder is amazing.
I will say, so this movie, Bong Joon-ho is one of these guys who, when he makes a movie that involves special effects, he's really taken his time with it, so it looks really good. The story is really interesting. The end drags out longer than it should. But overall, I liked it. I thought what he was saying and doing was fun and interesting.
Is it one of those kind of like dirty space movies?
It's
or whatever
definitely
we were
Dirty
talking?
Future.
Dirty Future?
Use Future.
Use Future.
Yeah,
I was like, what is it?
It's very
so
Use
in.
Future.
I mean, I really want to see it. It just came out. This month has been particularly busy for me with life shit.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to get to the movies. And the Academy is showing Clue this week. So if I do make it out to the theater,
it's for Clue.
This week it'll be to see Clue. And next week they're showing Big Lebowski. But I'll be out of town, but you guys take advantage.
Maybe. Might do that.
But yeah, I definitely want to see Mickey 17. And Use Future. That sells me so hard. I wouldn't have to know anything else about it to want to see a Use Future.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I like Pattinson.
He's great.
It kind of feels like it has that. I love a movie, I like a Groundhog Day type movie. It feels like it's got a little bit of that, right?
It does.
Because it's clones or something. Right?
It's
okay.
It's the 17th one. I don't want to know too much about it.
No,
I think
this is a premise that doesn't give anything away. So basically, a failed fascist politician comes up with a way.
Oh, so it is sci-fi.
It is sci-fi. Comes up with a way to take a bunch of people voluntarily who don't want to live on Earth anymore to go live on another planet. And in there, if you opt to, you can be what's called an expendable, where they basically use you to perform all different sorts of experiments. And when you die, they just reprint you.
Whoa. All right. I'm in. I mean,
that's a very high level overview.
Right. That sounds cool. And then the 3 things I knew about it, Pattinson, Bong Joon-ho, and Use Future, already sold. I can't wait to see it. Probably be a rental, but
yeah, I would say I'm
just running out of time.
I thoroughly enjoyed the theater experience because it's sci-fi, it's a lot of special effects, but at the same time, like I said, the last 45 minutes drags a bit. So if you don't want to see it in theaters, I wouldn't blame you.
No, it's not that I don't. It's that I just don't see how I could work it in.
Yeah.
But excellent. So Mickey 17. What have you seen?
The last movie I watched that wasn't Dante's Peak was Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh, all right.
That's that Harry Styles movie, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not
Broke
the
up a
first time.
marriage.
It's not the first time I've seen it. I rewatched it. I really liked it. I actually really liked it on the second watch too. It's basically Stepford Wives,
Okay.
but in Palm Springs.
Like the new Stepford Wives or the robots?
It's like an updated. It's not that. I don't want to give away the ending, but it's similar. It's like a similar, like they're in this like utopian society thing, and it's got some like cool comments. It sucks that apparently the staff or everyone that worked on the film like hates each other now.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
It was like a whole thing, but it's just beautiful, and it's just like a fun escapism type thing with a cool like somewhat twist at the end. And I mean, I'm kind of giving it away by saying it's Stepford Wives, but
It's
been out for a while.
It's kind of on you at this point.
Like, if you haven't seen it.
I mean, I've already made my decision on that movie, so
Yeah. What's your decision on it? No.
I mean, I haven't seen it,
So you're not.
and it's not for a lack of availability.
You know what's fun is the roommate situation now is going to introduce this whole thing where
It is.
you're probably going to start watching movies that were a no for you.
He's like, no horror movies. None of
No
these.
horror movies.
Get
I
outta
don't
here.
even. Right, so we should put a little context. The house I was living in is being sold, so I had to move, and I couldn't find a permanent spot in time. So I am temporarily, I guess the phrase would be, shacked up with Bjorn and Paul.
Yep.
They had a spare room and were nice enough to let me roommate my way in for a little bit. So yeah, me and Soft J are about to be besties. Real life is gonna be out in the cold.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. Just
Nice.
making movies with my friends.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can come over. I don't know. I don't know if I have guest privileges yet. Well,
Nah, you're fine.
but yeah, no. I mean, they watched White Lotus last night, and I survived
Don't
without
say anything.
watching
I
it.
won't.
I haven't seen it yet.
I won't.
I can't believe that guy was also in Napoleon Dynamite. That's my favorite social media trend is when someone shows up at a show and they go, "Oh my God, this isn't the first. This guy didn't wait till he was 64 to start acting. Look how good he is for his first role." It's like,
You know what else is funny about that? You walked in, said that, and we all had a laugh, and then I secretly was like, oh, fuck, it is that guy from... I hadn't put it together. This
Wait,
like
who's
episode...
the guy?
John Grease, Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico.
Which season are you on?
Well, the new one, but he's also in the first season. He's the character that comes back in the third season.
Yeah, we're not. You guys.
Tanya's
hang on,
wife,
we're not making
or
an
husband.
episode of White POTUS.
Yeah,
POTUS,
we're not.
White POTUS.
He's not seen any of it.
White
He's like-
POTUS is just a 98% political podcast with one outlier. I just love that whenever it comes up, a guy, someone shows up in Yellow Jackets or whatever, like, can you believe this is the same lady from 2.5 Men or whatever? Like, yeah, they're actors.
They
They
do
act.
more stuff.
Also, it
They
also
probably worked with, what is it?
makes me realize that my John Grease touchstone is Get Shorty. So I
need
just,
to look
whatever anybody says, any of that, I just, like, I'm just so frustrated that nobody goes, he was also a Get Shorty. He got pushed off the deck. Spoiler alert. That movie came out 30 years ago, so.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Because was Mike White in Napoleon Dynamite? He's in Gentleman Broncos, which is the next one that guy did.
No, he's not. I don't think he's in it, but that Napoleon Dynamite definitely has a Mike White vibe.
It does.
Which isn't fair. I'm going to take it back. That isn't, because Mike White wrote School of Rock, and School of
Right.
Rock is
Very
out loud
different.
funny,
Yeah.
and Napoleon Dynamite is weird,
It is.
and somehow it just hit the zeitgeist somehow. But that's a movie I'll probably never watch again.
Was Gentleman Broncos next, or was Nacho Libre next?
I think it was Gentleman Broncos, then Nacho Libre.
Okay. I don't care.
But
Me either.
I watched Gentleman Broncos with Paul recently.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, there's where all those weird inside jokes my friends and I had came from.
Yeah.
That I just totally forgot about because there's just all these out of pocket scenes that are just awkward and don't make any sense, but they're just so funny.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that it's going to go the other direction. That he's going to end up watching more stuff.
I have a feeling that's
random,
Yeah, that actually checks
like
out.
the next time that we sit down and I go, hey, have you seen Mystery Science Theater 3000's Mitchell? And then we watch that, and it's the funniest. It's like a top 5 comedy movie for me. Is their version of that. Like how the Seinfeld Colin Quinn commentary track of the documentary Comedian is better than the movie Comedian. Like just that
now I want to
commentary
see
track
that.
is so much more interesting. Of two like vets talking about comedy and writing with that going on in the background is so much. It's better. It's funnier.
I want to see that. I do want to before we move on. The other movie that we watched, I had Paul watch Walk Hard.
Oh yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think that was in your collection is where we watched it. I love that movie. Like it's totally my sense of humor. Like it just nails my sense of humor.
I think it's great, and I love it more now because of the Weird Al biopic and the fact that the Weird Al biopic seemed like, how are you going to do this with Walk Hard existing? And the fact that it doesn't cross what Walk Hard did at all is so funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
And also that movie Weird
it's a great movie.
It's one of the funniest movies of this century for sure.
Paul didn't know it was fake. And then it was so funny the moment that he realized it, where he was like, wait, what? And there was like the beat it part where he's all mad that his song got ripped off by Michael Jackson.
They're doing like these, the turn of how they're making serious versions of his songs is so, and the fact that he didn't make a biopic parody, because like when it was announced, I thought it was going to be a biopic parody, but the fact that it was a parody of his biopic specifically is so goddamn perfect.
It is.
It's genius. And it's strange to say, but like I like the Weird Al exists musically, but somehow for a guy that made 15 albums or whatever, 30 albums, whatever it is, I wish he made more movies. He's made 2 movies and they're both incredible.
Was it UHF?
UHF is so fucking good.
Yeah, that's it. Like those are the 2 movies he made.
I didn't realize the main villain in UHF is in almost every Joe Dante movie.
Really?
Yeah, he's in almost all of them.
I can't picture him right now.
The
TV channel owner.
Let me pull him up.
But I didn't want to sidetrack us too much, but I had not watched Walk Hard in a long time, and I totally forgot how much I love that movie.
No, it's very good.
Like all the original songs, like the running jokes, like
the wrong kid died.
Wrong kid died.
RJ Fletcher.
Yeah, that guy. Yes.
He's in like every Joe Dante movie.
Let me see.
Except The Burbs.
Oh, gotcha.
Except the Burbs, The Hole, and another one he's not in.
I think he might be. I think
Piranha.
that guy is in. Oh no, that guy looks like Lane Smith.
He also has a super duper quick part in the James Woods Brian Dennehy
bestseller.
Yeah, when someone's driving and then like almost hits someone with a car and the guy like slams on his hood. That's RJ Fletcher.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What a movie. What a career. What a career
Wow.
RJ Fletcher's had. All right, so the last movie I watched that wasn't Dante's Peak was Dog Man. We had a sleepover on Saturday or Sunday with the boys, and they love that movie. It's their first moment where their pop culture things intersect. They'd already read all the books.
Dogman's the same author as Captain Underpants, right? Yeah.
Similar art style.
Yeah.
Right. I always get Underpants and Wimpy Kid confused because I'm not 10. But yeah, it's the Underpants one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Dogman is very funny.
Okay.
It's so funny, and there was like at least 10 references to movies, like where they're quoting, like there's a fish at some point, and then somebody goes, "Get away from her, you fish!" Right, stuff like that. There's at least 10 of those in the movie where they quote.
That's amazing.
Right? it's funny. The boys laugh at it because it's funny. And I'm just like, oh my God, they just quoted
Aliens.
Yeah.
Like, incredible.
That's awesome.
Right. It's so funny. Like I'll watch it again. It's in you have access to it now.
Yeah.
It made me laugh so much. But it's a children's movie. If you got kids, watch this movie with your kids. If you don't, then
Maybe don't go to the theater.
Yeah,
watch it at home.
Just get stoned to watch it because it's still very funny. Oh my God, is it funny? So all right, so
Dante's
now
Peak.
we can get to Dante's Peak.
Let's do Dante's Peak.
Let's put Dante's Peak in context. The movie came out February 7th, 1997. It was in a production race with another volcano movie. That movie was called Volcano. So they clearly had to think up a new title. Probably, I imagine that they were both called Volcano. That's in my head. They're like,
It's
we're
your
making a
headcanon.
movie called Volcano.
Yeah.
And they go, have you heard of that one? So they rushed it, got it out months before,
3 months before.
and it made more money and has better overall scores than Volcano. Blows my mind. I was always a Volcano guy. Turns out I never saw Dante's Peak all the way through until 2 weeks ago or whatever, whenever we decided to do it. It's a good story. But we'll get to that in a minute. So this movie debuted at number 2, February 7th, 1997. Can you guess what was number 1? Or did you see my list
97.
already?
No, I didn't see it.
97
97.
February. I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. It was a re-release.
Oh, nope.
It
No
was
idea.
the 20th. It was that was the year where they re-released
Star
the
Wars.
Star Wars movies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
So February
fucking went and
7th,
saw that, too.
1997.
Yeah. Which
This
one?
is why I did not see Dante's Peak.
A New Hope.
A New
Because
Hope.
this movie, I don't know if it came out that week, but whenever that movie came out, Star Wars, I went to the theater, saw it opening night, and it was the first time we all saw Han not shoot first.
Yeah.
The Jabba in the first one, like when Chewbacca shows up, the whole audience, the whole room cheered. It was so much fun. And then moments later, Greedo shoots first, and then there's 150 people that just go, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And then you see Jabba, and the people are like, "What the fuck?" It was wild. It was dumb.
Yeah,
Huge
I
mistake.
I saw that for my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I have a random thing from my childhood. We had all of the original Star Wars movies on Laserdisc.
What?
Like the giant record size.
Yeah.
Like my dad, he's a doctor, and so he would just buy the latest. Doctors just buy
They buy
expensive
expensive
dumb stuff. So we
Sure.
had all the latest, like, we had a DVD player before, like everybody did, which was cool because we could rent the newest movies because, like, no one in our town also had until the PlayStation came out, and then everybody started digging into the DVDs with us. But we had the original Star Wars trilogy, and the significance of that, I wish we still had it because it's the only digital copy of the original.
Whoa.
Because
Oh,
all the
damn.
other ones were on DVD. So you can only find the original digital copies of the original trilogy are only on Laserdisc and the first release of the Laserdisc. So they're really valuable now, like
Yeah.
very sought after,
The,
without all the, I don't know, Jabba the Hutt CGI. That's all I remember from them.
I don't know if it's still true by the time this airs, but the Roku channel has the original,
Oh, really?
without the non-special edition version.
John's got the
Right, you
the
guys have a
VHSs.
better. Right,
Yeah.
that's why I never pulled the trigger on the Roku one because I don't want to. They have ads,
Yeah.
but right, you have the VHS of the original. I could still picture the box, like, as I had the trilogy, like I bought it, I had it, VHS. I didn't realize that it was gonna go away forever. So
Yeah.
one of the moves I did, I was like, I don't have a VCR, so I'll get rid of all this. Never realized that those were gonna disappear forever.
Mm-hmm.
So frustrating, but we can all come to terms with it.
Yeah.
My main reason why I think the Han shooting first thing, like letting Greedo shoot first, is what Luke would do. That's my main problem with it.
Mm.
Han shoots first,
Yeah.
Luke shoots second. That's a main difference in their character. It's part of the story. It's what makes Han's like is what makes his character interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But whatever. I don't know that he was all that interested in interesting characters. He just wanted to make up
George Lucas.
Yeah, he just made up worlds. He made up interesting stories.
He's great at coming up with stories and building worlds, and then that's kind of where his skill ends.
Yeah, he's a real thinking shit up guy. Executing. Whatever. He did a great job. He just should have stopped tinkering. But
here we are.
Right, what are we going to litigate this 25 years later? We've already done
We're
it.
breaking new ground, fellas.
Yeah, this is the first time.
On Star Wars conversations.
It's the first time.
Yeah, no one's ever talked about this before.
Number 1, Star Wars: A New Hope. Number 2, Dante's Peak.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, The Beautician and the Beast.
Mm.
Number 4, Jerry Maguire. Number 5, Scream.
Hell yeah.
Number 6, Evita. Number 7, The English Patient. Number 8, Metro. Number 9, Beverly Hills Ninja.
Sure.
And number 10, Michael.
Beverly Hills Ninja was Chris Farley's like first foray into really doing star work after Tommy Boy.
Was it? What about like where he was like lead? I mean, yeah, Black Sheep was still a duo.
Yeah, he was like he was on his own.
Yeah, and he only did it right, and that might be the only one he did because the next one, the posthumous one, was Almost Heroes. So another double act, him and Matthew Perry. Both of those movies I didn't like at the time, and I like them so much more now just because of distance, and that's all we got. There's 9 movies with Chris Farley.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason not to like them all.
It was almost 10 with Shrek.
Almost 10.
Oh yeah, that's
almost
right.
10. Yeah. There was also, I remember reading, and this bummed me out at the time. It still bums me out. After he died, there was like the Rolling Stone obituary or whatever. Spade mentioned that they were in like pre-production or like working out developing a Hardy Boys movie. Like they were going to be a grown-up Hardy Boys.
That would have been so fun.
That would have been so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like at that time in 1997 or whenever that happened, I couldn't think of a thing that a 19-year-old me would like more. I grew up reading. At that point, I probably read all the Hardy Boys, and now these two are gonna make a movie. Oh my god, I was so in. But alas, now no one's made a Hardy Boys movie, and thank God for that. We dodged the window when it would have been Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill or whatever. We got out of that. Thank God.
If it was Seth Rogen and Bill Hader, I might be into that. Bill Hader would have saved that whole thing.
The Superbad cops would be so fun.
Yeah.
You're right. That would be good. Seth Rogen's not really the problem there. I guess a 2005 Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
I don't really want that.
American Pickle Rogen though.
Yeah. A grown up Rogen. Like if it's like a 50-year-old, if the Hardy Boys are 50, and they have to get back into it. Man, now I'm back in.
Yeah.
It's like what's this Lethal Weapon 5 going to be about? The guy was a week away from retiring 40 years ago. The only storyline that could be good in that movie is because the last one ends with babies being born. Murtaugh's a grandpa and Riggs has a kid. So Riggs is a father and Murtaugh's a grandpa. Their kids are born on the same day. Those kids, 30 years later, now they're both cops. They get gunned down at the beginning. It's tragic. It's sad. But then these old-ass 80-year-old Murtaugh and Riggs have to, as old motherfuckers, avenge their deaths. I'd be into that.
I have to say when that comes out, I'm very interested to see it only because I want to see if there's any nods to Sonny. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah. It would be... They should sue. I mean, Danny DeVito should be in it.
Yeah,
Danny DeVito they should just pretend that's Leo Getz. Because there's no way Pesci's coming out of retirement for the 5th one.
No.
It's not. I mean, it took Scorsese and De Niro to convince him to do The Irishman and Pacino. He's not coming back for Lethal Weapon 5, but just have DeVito play it.
He's so funny.
That's awesome.
An Italian face.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, DeVito sounds pretty Italian already.
Yeah, he's a pretty Italian guy.
It would work.
Just gotta lean into it.
It would work. I mean, maybe the movie works. Maybe Riggs just gets killed right at the beginning too, and then it's a lot easier to stomach. We don't have to deal with Mel Gibson on TV for the rest of the time, but we all know he's bad. I still watch the Lethal Weapon movies, and every time I do, I think being racist is stupid. So it's having the opposite effect on me. Like, he probably wants me to be. I'll be like, I'll never be like Mel Gibson. Be a Riggs, not a Gibson.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. Whatever.
Sounds like a T-shirt.
Yes, it does. Also, the guy that played Riggs on the Lethal Weapon TV show went crazy too. Like, was an asshole and got right. Yeah, like he had being a dick allegations, not monster allegations. He was like tough to work with on set or whatever. But maybe it's the character. Maybe the character of Riggs is cursed.
It's a cursed role.
Nobody can play Riggs. It just makes you crazy.
It makes you crazy. Cursed role.
Oh yeah. All right. So I got sidetracked.
Yeah, Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak. Roger Ebert gave this movie 2.5 stars. And then also, is now a good time to mention, if you read a Roger Ebert review, don't ever read one before you see the movie. Like,
yeah,
he gives so much away in every review.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He'll just tell you the whole thing. And that's in almost every review. Like, what's the point of you? You're supposed to tell me whether I should see this movie or not what happened in a movie I just saw.
Hey man, people really like that dude's thumbs. I don't know what to tell
No, I mean, he's not. He knows a lot. He's good at it, I guess. He writes well. It's interesting, and it's very interesting to read after you've seen the movie.
Right.
Before, please don't. IMDb 6.1. That tracks. That feels like about a 2.5.
Yeah.
IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes
Real
critic
low.
score 30%, audience score 38. The audience score, critic score, I understand because you have to, especially back then, when you were writing a review, you had to put your head all the way up your asshole before you wrote it. Like, just fill the room with your own farts and take deep whiffs.
Yep.
But audience score, you're going to see a movie about a volcano that destroys a town. What did this movie not give you that you were expecting? It should at least be like, I could understand if you're like, I give it a 9 out of 10 because way more people should have said fuck.
Yeah. or
Oh
died.
my God, yeah.
Right?
It's only like 4 deaths.
A lot of people get out of there.
A whole town is running from a volcano and nobody, it's PG-13. No one says fuck. Like,
Get out of here.
right? I don't believe you. That's the only thing I would dock at points. The rest of it delivers on its promise, and that's how I think you should review a movie. Does it do what it
promised?
do what it intended to do, not what you wanted it to do?
Yeah.
Right? Too many people write about rate movies based on what they wanted it to do.
I've had to stop reading reviews of movies. It's like I'll watch maybe the trailer and then decide if I want to see it or not based on that. Because sometimes I'll read a review and I'm like, and it ruins the movie. Either like I feel bad for liking it or I feel vindicated. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just don't. I kind of want to watch it.
I only read reviews to decide how I feel about the person who wrote it, not how I feel about the movie or myself.
Man, I get that about the trailer, but also I have discovered since 2016, since Paul Feig's Ghostbusters, I have realized how bad of a way that is to decide about seeing a movie.
A trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like that's considered like the worst trailer ever made, and that movie's actually solid.
I liked it. Everyone made fun of it. It's a great movie. But I loved it.
I thought it was very funny, but it is a god awful trailer.
I mean, people are gonna get real hot about this, and you can email us at saturdayafternoonmovieclub@gmail.com. But if we're being honest, the Paul Feig one is joke for joke the funniest one.
Oh, for sure. I'd agree with that.
And people are gonna freak out because Bill Murray is hilarious, but we're not talking about which one has the funniest person. That movie is the funniest Ghostbusters movie. It's just got so many jokes, wall to wall jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very joke
I don't think I'm not saying it's the best Ghostbusters movie. The first Ghostbusters is the best Ghostbusters, but that's a monster movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
with funny people in it.
Yeah.
But it's a monster movie. It's better, but man, that people really freaked out about putting girls in a thing.
They really did.
Just lost their mind.
And apparently the people who cut the trailer thought the same way.
Now I want to go back and watch this trailer.
I'll show it to you during the break.
All
Like
right.
it's fucking gnarly.
Anyways, it's tough. My favorite way to watch a movie is someone goes, "Hey, I just saw this movie. It was really great. I think you would like it. You should go see it." And I have no idea what I'm getting myself
sure.
into.
Yeah.
That is my favorite. Like I had, you remember the card where you could watch unlimited movies?
Movie Pass.
Yeah,
For
Movie
like,
Pass.
yeah. So I had that, and that was when I lived in Las Vegas, and so I literally saw every single movie in theater. No idea what anything was about. I just was like, okay, I haven't seen this. I'm going to it. And I saw so many movies. I saw some that were really bad, but I also saw some that I had no idea what I was getting. I was like, I don't even know what genre this is. Like,
Give me an example.
the 3 billboards outside of.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a great movie.
I saw that. I was like, 3 billboards, whatever. Yeah, I'll take one
That's
for that.
Great movie.
Yeah, there was that was the most fun surprise movie that I have seen. Also recently, The Substance. I just saw Demi Moore. It was like a thing on Instagram. I was like, oh, Demi Moore's in some movie and it's out today. Let's go see it. I had no idea what this film was about.
Yeah.
And we invited a friend who hates scary movies. And here's my impression of her the whole time. Like she was in her shirt. And this is the second time we've done this to her. We took her to Alien Romulus like 2 weeks earlier. And she's like, maybe don't invite me to movies anymore.
She should have known better with the alien one, though.
Yeah,
But
that's a little.
she didn't know. She was just like, I'm bored. I'll go see a movie with you.
Yeah, but it's like the 8th alien movie.
I know.
Yeah.
And they're-
She
and
hadn't
they're
seen any
all-
of them.
And that should have been enough of a hint.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
haven't you seen any of the rest? Probably because you don't like scary movies. Or boring movies.
So funny.
Quick note about The Substance, because I just listened to an interview with the director on another podcast called Movies That Made Me. All of the type font and whatnot is based on They Live.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense.
Uh-huh.
That makes a lot of sense. I was obsessed with that movie when I was younger.
Oh, it's so good.
Neat. We'll do that someday.
Yeah.
So this movie was directed by Roger Donaldson. I believe he's from New Zealand. He directed No Way Out, Species,
I gotta watch Species.
The Recruit.
Wait, you haven't watched it?
I haven't seen it either.
It watches like I watched the first 3 like recently.
I saw the first 10 minutes of it.
And they watch like a TV series now, in
Okay.
my opinion. It kind of feels like watching a Alias or something. I don't know.
Okay,
Like
All right.
check it out.
with boobs.
And Cocktail. He also directed Cocktail.
Oh, what?
Okay.
It was written by Leslie Baum,
Mm-hmm.
who wrote Nowhere to Run and Daylight and other stuff. I just wrote down what was in her top 4. The ones I'd heard of from her top 4.
Did we watch Daylight? No, we didn't watch that.
No, it's on the list of.
Oh, okay.
We'll
Because
be getting to it.
I get it mixed up with Hard Rain for some reason.
Is it because it sounds
I don't know.
they're phonetically similar?
I don't know.
Just
I watched them both
Oh,
at
the
the same
posters
time.
kind of look the same.
That's
because
it.
The Hard Rain has Slater running towards the front of the, out,
Yeah.
as if coming out of the and the same with Stallone, like they're like, it's
Yeah.
centered
Okay.
and running.
And my experience of those movies is like being at the video store and seeing them
Yeah.
maybe next to each other in the action movie
Yeah,
section.
Yeah, so this movie stars Pierce Brosnan,
Mm-hmm.
Linda Hamilton, and then a bunch of
Character actors.
a bunch of people that I'm not going to mention because they don't matter, and a couple of people I will mention because I do have touchstones for them. Grant Heslov is in this movie. He is now and has been for the last over 20 years, or I mean for longer than that. Even during now, then this time he was George Clooney's producing partner.
Mm.
They started their production company together, and he has switched more to producing. But he was in a few things in the 90s, this and True Lies.
Who was he in this? Was he the
He
main
was the-
USGS guy?
He was on the team, the Volcano team, and he was the guy that was always into coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Coffee.
God,
I like
he
his
That
was-
description.
lunatic.
He gets killed in another 90s movie.
He does.
Yeah,
I
not
can't
True
remember which
Lies.
one it is.
He
Not
saves
True
the day in
Lies.
True Lies. But I'm not going to spoil the end of True Lies if you haven't seen it, but he helps save the day. And then also, just there's a couple of side characters that are around for brief moments, but they both have Seinfeld touchstones, which is Brian Reddy's in it. He's the city councilman that's really against saving the town. And he was the high talker on Seinfeld. He was in a couple episodes as the high talker that he broke up their, Jerry and Elaine broke up their wedding or whatever, that guy. And then Lee Garlington, she's also in the city council meetings, and she was supposed to be the female lead of Seinfeld. She was in the pilot, and she was like a real sassy waitress lady at the coffee shop. And then they had to retool it before they made a season and dropped that character and added Elaine. But those are that. Who cares? Michael Douglas and Kurt Russell were both turned down. Pierce
does he
Brosnan.
die in Congo?
Yes, it's Congo.
Okay. I was like, I think it's Congo.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to wait. I think I know the movie. Can we watch? I want to watch Congo sometime. I loved that movie. I hope it's on the list.
Congo's deliciously terrible.
We'll get to it. Right, so Michael Douglas and Kurt Russell both turned it down.
Yeah.
According to the research. But I could also imagine they weren't the only ones. This definitely feels like probably crossed Harrison Ford's desk. Both of the Volcano movies probably crossed all these guys' desks.
Yeah.
Like Pierce Brosnan was starting to, like, he had leveled up with because he had just done GoldenEye, but he still didn't. He wasn't the first choice for a lot of these until probably Thomas Crown Affair. That seems like a real not James Bond role for him.
And then he just settled into character acting basically from that point forward, which was fine.
He's good. He's done weird, cool stuff. The Matador is very cool.
Mrs. Doubtfire?
That was before.
Still.
Yeah.
Black Adam pops into that one.
I never saw that. He was in that movie called No Escape with Owen Wilson and Lake Bell, where it's like some kind of so Owen Wilson and his family are flying to some unnamed like Southeast Asia country, and while they're in the air, a coup takes place, and they are no longer like welcome in that country, like whatever political shifts in a 15-hour flight. And Pierce Brosnan plays like the cool old, expat, probably, used to be CIA or maybe still like that kind of role. I like Pierce Brosnan a lot when he's got when he's like shaggy. When he's all gelled up, I'm not as into it as him as an actor, like as a look.
Sure.
I like the shag, so as far as Dante's Peak go, the beginning is when I think he looks the coolest.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Then it's 4 years later or whatever, 6 months later, whatever nonsense that is. So that is all I have, other than it was filmed in Idaho, I guess, or near.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Idaho sound stages, and then all of the crater scenes were filmed up at Mount St. Helens.
Yeah, and they're Pierce Brosnan's characters from Portland, and they work for a thing in Vancouver, so it's all pretty local. We're doing a local film.
Local film. Had you seen this before? Or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You hadn't.
I had.
You thought you had. What was your experience with this movie? Do you have anything with that?
It's been not really. I remember seeing it when it came out on VHS.
Okay.
Because I remember liking GoldenEye and being like, that's the guy from GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And I want to see that. So I saw it like once on VHS, maybe once on a movie channel, and then rediscovered it like a couple years ago. But I really like this movie.
Yeah. So it's great. I have kind of a somewhat interesting. So they filmed it in Wallace, Idaho, which is on I-90, because I grew up in Montana. And when we would, as a family, whenever we flew anywhere, we would drive from Montana to Spokane because it was way cheaper to fly out of Spokane if we're doing like a longer flight or whatever.
Yeah.
So you have to drive through Wallace. And Wallace is like this really cool, picturesque town. And they had, for way too long, I want to say it was like way after this movie was out, they were like, filming location of Dante's Peak. There was like a thing. And it just made me obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with this movie. I really wanted to see it because I knew Wallace. And we still drive through whenever I go home, I drive through there, and it is this like really cool, picturesque, old school looking mining town.
How much of it's very clear to tell when there's a digital background in this movie, but there's also parts of it that are a little questionable. So how green and like mountainous is that place?
It is. It's in the mountains. Like it's
okay.
like all they had to do is just like kind of cut some of that giant towering mountain, isn't there? That's
right.
Mount Baker.
Yeah.
Just stitched in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like in the mountains.
Okay.
It's right before the pass to get to Montana.
Okay.
Right before Lookout Pass.
Because it is a beautiful place.
And so we have this
at the beginning.
We have this running
Right.
joke about, Paul and I do, my husband and I have this running joke that, because it looks like a town from a Hallmark movie.
Mm-hmm.
So every time we drive through there, we write the script of the Hallmark movie
That
would take place. And as I was watching it this time, this movie is a Hallmark movie with just a volcano erupting in the middle of it.
It really is.
Some guy from the big city comes in and swoops in on these kids. There's this single mom that's juggling work and being a mom and also the mayor. And it's Pioneer Days is coming up. This is a big deal, guys.
It is.
And then, oh, that's so great. This guy from the big city is like helping us out, and he's so good with kids and grandma. And if you take the volcano away, it's just
It's a straight up Hallmark movie.
It's a Hallmark movie.
It's just a Hallmark movie.
I feel like you could edit it. You could just change the edit a little bit.
I just might. It'll be 30 minutes.
It'll be 30 minutes.
And there will be no resolution.
And then at the end, you just have it be like, we're number 2 in the country of cities to live in. Like, that's the conclusion. They get to that list. It's them getting on the list.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
Also, number 2. Why is it number 2? It's a made up thing. Who gives a shit? Just make them number 1. Why they gotta be number 2? I don't
Stakes.
care. Does not matter.
So it shows how much. It's why they need that outside investment.
Oh, yeah.
They try to jump up to number
And
1.
why they don't want to leave. They're like,
They also,
no, we
you know,
gotta
they
do
don't
it.
want to. If they make it number 1, it's 2. Now I don't believe you. It's all, oh, you're number 1, man.
There's no
They humbled them.
There's no other stakes than the ones that we know are coming.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? If she had mayored that town all the way to number 1, they would have listened to her. But she only got to number 2, so there was reason to doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
They added that obstacle in there. All right, we should do the recap, but we'll do the recap right after this. All right, we're back. It's time for the recap. So now we're gonna right. That's real life's job. What's up, Randall? You wrote down the. We wrote down the recap. We're gonna do a first act recap of Dante's and then talk about our favorite stuff from this movie.
So, this is a little bit more high level, but here we go. The fictional town of Dante's Peak is showing signs of volcanic activity despite the volcano being dormant for 7,000 years. Harry, played by Pierce Brosnan, is sent to the town to check out the activity due to his wide depth of knowledge and keen instincts surrounding volcanic eruptions. After taking a few readings and stumbling upon 2 boiled humans, he decides the town should be put on notice to evacuate by the mayor, played by Linda Hamilton. The rest of the USGS shows up to take readings and finds the mountain seems to be holding its dormant state. After multiple tests, the USGS maintains the mountain is safe and recommends the town hold off on declaring the need for evacuation. Then, as they are on their way out, Harry escorts the mayor back to her home for a few drinks. They are about to get busy, grab a glass of water, and oh no, it's filled with dirt and sulfur. In a panic, Harry rushes to the boss to convince him that the town needs to be evacuated. His boss agrees, and the town calls an emergency meeting to discuss evacuation. In the middle of the meeting, the volcano erupts in tremendous fashion, covering the town in ash. And then, in the midst of the chaos, the mayor's children steal her car, head up the mountain to rescue their grandma, who has stubbornly refused to evacuate, stating that everything is overblown. That is basically the first act of this movie.
Yeah, and it's 45 minutes in.
The volcano erupts 54 minutes in. Yeah. This movie is an hour and 45 minutes long.
Yeah, it's great. And then after that, it's just like a monster movie, a chase movie.
It's just chasing.
the volcano is the monster, and the people are trying to get away. Fortunately, we only care about 6 or 7 people in this movie, so we don't have to worry about the 5,000 people who definitely are dead.
Yeah.
And the fact that not a single person survives through the first half hour of that volcano erupting.
No.
Like, they're all dead. There's no air. It's lava's too hot to be next to.
Mm-hmm.
All that kind of shit. But now we should talk briefly about how this movie so desperately, it's just Jaws and Twister at a volcano.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the city council meeting of Linda Hamilton and Pierce Brosnan being like, this is dangerous, we have to do something, and then the rest of the people being like, it's Pioneer Days, we need to stay open for Pioneer Day. Like, it's just that Jaws scene of 24 hours, that's like 3 weeks. Like,
right. It's a combination of that, and they also have this big investor who's trying to pump a bunch of money into their economy and bring them to number 1 instead of number 2.
Right, they throw that in for some reason.
They have a local TV station for some reason.
I know, that seems like way too small to have their own TV channel.
Oh, yeah.
They're just watching Boise News from 3 hours away.
Yeah. Syndicated everything.
Yeah, I've lived in towns that size. They don't have anything. They might have a radio station, maybe.
They might have TV reception in general.
TV reception.
Satellite
yes.
only.
Satellite only.
No cable there.
Right there, they get most of their news from WGN at 9:00 if there's not a Cubs game.
Yeah.
Back then, I love that they made the team. The team is so much just a Twister team.
Yeah, absolutely.
But me and Bjorn were talking about it last night. I feel like every one of those actors was cast, like the production side of it was like, we don't want to be Twister.
Right.
So they cast all these actors because of different strengths they had. And then it feels like the actors themselves were like, oh, we should do it like Twister.
Yeah.
But none of them could. So it all comes off bad.
Yeah.
And it's TV as fuck outside of the 2 leads.
Yeah.
Everyone else is television level. I mean, some of them Peter Jason's in it for a minute. He ends up in Deadwood. Some of them, prestige TV top level, but Harry's boss, Pierce Brosnan's boss, that guy he was in The Thing.
Yeah, that's right.
But then after that, and in this movie, and he's just a TV guy. Like, he just seems like a guy that would be, he should be on like a 4-episode arc as a possible future father-in-law for Drew Carey. Like, that's the level that he's, and it's not bad. Like, it feels like I'm bagging on him, but I mean, and I kind of am, but I'm not saying he's not a good actor. He's just, this is a movie.
Yeah.
Like, where serious shit is happening, and you have to have like some level of gravitas or whatever to hold this position.
Mm-hmm.
That's why movies like Independence Day, like when Independence Day uses a TV actor, it's Judd Hirsch, a guy who has movie level gravitas if he wants to do something. But
could you put like a David Caruso in there and he'd nail it, or is he too TV?
No, David Caruso is up his own ass. That's his main problem. He could have been in it. He would have been he would have been good in that role, like the Pierce Brosnan boss role, because his general demeanor has some smugness to it that would create more antagonism between him and the boss. Because the way that they shut him down, we should dislike that boss more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good point.
And Caruso would be better, I think, as being the villain boss, red tape guy. But and it just never made sense. Like, 2 people were boiled alive because the water turned to acid, and enough carbon dioxide is coming out of the mountain to kill huge stretches of
trees and animals,
like animals and plant life and trees. Something is wrong, and the fact that they come in and go, I don't see it, is, what are you doing? Why would you? I understand it's their 1 week a year where tourists come, but that sucks. But don't all die. Now you're just all going to die? Like, how soon after any of this happens, if you live in this town, how soon do you leave town?
If I knew about it, probably immediately.
Right? I would leave. I wouldn't have gone to the meeting. because that's I guess when you're watching it, the bulk of the town finds out about this being an issue when the meeting is called.
Right.
Not the fact that they call the meeting is a warning.
Right.
And I would have left at that moment. And if I had somehow heard about some of the other stuff ahead of time, I would have left the moment I heard about it because it's a volcano. You just have to leave for maybe a week and then it'll either happen or it'll calm down and you know you can go back.
Mm-hmm.
But to just be like, but this is our pioneer days. We need to, not only do we need to not evacuate the town, we need to keep it open so people could come here. We need people from other towns to come here so that we could kill off more than one town with our hubris. Right, Mount Petard explodes, and wait, that's not. It was the helicopter. The helicopter should have been called Petard, because when they all jump in it, they just they just hoist their way onto Petard and then crash and die because they're assholes. The fucking helicopter pilot, all of it. You can see that. You can see the ways that the crew is knocking off Twister.
Yeah,
Like the two of them are doing Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the idea of the director's his notes every time. It's like, all right, on this one, not Twister. All right, go.
Yeah.
Right.
And action.
And then somebody goes, cows, we got cows. And I cut. I said specifically,
Not Twister.
don't
Jaws.
seem like Twister. Definitely don't quote it.
Like, they get in the boat, and he's like, we're going to need a bigger boat. No!
No, this boat is fine.
This boat is perfect. There's 6 of us.
I do wish that...
Hold on to your crystals.
Right? Hold on to your children. Why would you leave the kids at home when you're having the evacuate the town meeting? That lady is based on a real person.
Yeah.
From
really?
the Mount St. Helens eruption. There was a guy that lived on the mountain that wouldn't leave. And there was another story that I read in the research where a geologist, scientist.
Not a geologist.
Not a geologist. How dare you?
Not a geologist.
That's open-handed and I don't rear back. But you still get a little tap because I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, Soft J. How many times in this movie would it have made perfect sense for Pierce Brosnan to say to Linda Hamilton, come with me if you want to live? Why not do it? I'd never understand why you don't do it because I don't believe that Dante's is real. We're making movies. It's supposed to be fun. That would have been such a fun sentence for him to say at any point to anybody to say to Linda Hamilton,
especially if he did an Austrian accent for it.
Yes. Well, no, it's Risa
Slips
says it
into it.
in the first one.
In the first one, yeah.
Which that's another guy. Michael Biehn should have been one of
And
the
so
biggest
many
stars.
more things.
He was so good. He turned down a few things that he shouldn't have. It sort of biffed his career, but he could have been in this.
Oh yeah.
I bet there's not too many calls. If Pierce Brosnan says no, I bet there's not too many calls before
Michael Biehn.
he gets it. Because they probably are just looking at the script. Like, this is probably one of the rare cases where Bill Paxton would get called after Biehn, especially in the 90s, just simply because of Twister, because it's too similar to Twister.
Mm-hmm.
So they would call Biehn first, but
Twister was 96, right?
Twister was 96, yeah. And that was the other thing that really stood out to me was when we were watching it last night, I feel ripped off that we didn't get a second tornado movie.
I know.
Like,
until
at the same time.
recently.
Right? No, I
Well,
mean,
no, at the same time, like a
just
volcano.
Right,
Oh,
they
I
had
see what you're
Dante's
saying,
the Dante's and Volcano and the Armageddon. Like, there was the double up of several, like, throughout the 90s, there was several of those.
No, we didn't get Tornado.
And we never got the second Twister movie. And that can only be because the other studios saw that they were making it and then looked at who was in it and what they were doing and were like, we got
nothing.
We can't duplicate it. We can't copy this. It's perfect.
Well, I mean, also, what are they going to put? Are they going to put tornadoes in L.A.?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like,
Yeah.
Is that the...
Yeah, tornadoes in L.A. Sons of Dorothy.
Right?
That's the reference you don't get.
Yeah. I kind of get it.
So stupid.
I know that Dorothy is from Twister. What does Sons of Dorothy mean?
It's a gay thing.
Yeah, all right,
yeah, it's a gay thing. It's like
All
an old code.
Right, that's Patton's leather. Is
Yes.
Patton leather?
Yes. What?
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean I saw parts of Studio 54. I have to imagine I didn't understand it, but yeah, Sons of that works great because I understand enough of that because of the Dorothy reference. Nailed it.
Got it.
Right? I mean, but yeah, that would be a fun movie, right? Tornadoes in LA for some reason.
Yeah.
I
like that whole
They
title.
probably made it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they put sharks in tornadoes for 5 movies.
They did.
Sharknado.
But there was almost a tornado here last week.
And then
Conditions
nothing,
were correct.
Yeah, and then nothing, which
Right?
good.
Absolutely.
I got some heat on Threads because somebody made. Apparently, there's a running joke in Portland of the forecast, not the actual.
Happens a lot.
Right, which cool, hilarious running joke. It also completely explains why no one from Portland is prepared for anything.
Yeah. Or this movie
'Cause
makes
it's
sense.
Right?
Yeah.
It's such a funny joke for people who don't know to turn their lights on when it's raining and can't drive in snow and can't do anything ever. Sorry, there was. I was shocked that there was even possible, but the day it was supposed to happen, there was within an hour. I went out to smoke 2 times in that afternoon, about an hour apart, and in that hour the temperature dropped almost 20 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how you get tornadoes. That's why it said possible.
Mm-hmm.
The temperature drops when cold air hits hot air. I'm so scared of tornadoes. I learned so much about it. I've almost been hit by 2, maybe 3. One was when I was driving, and it got so dark and the rain so hard I had to pull over. And I knew I'd been on this road, this stretch between Philadelphia and Cincinnati. I'd done that drive 40 times. My ex-wife's parents lived in Philly. Then there was a while where I lived in Philadelphia, and my family was always, so I was always going back and forth. I knew exactly where I was. I was 1,500 feet from an overpass, but I couldn't see enough to make it that far.
Oh, shit.
And then it started hailing, and it got so crazy loud. It was just, the car was shaking. Then it let up enough where I could get to that overpass. Then it stopped, and then I started driving, and the highway was covered in grass. Grass, loose grass, not branches, not leaves, not stuff wind does. There's only one thing that'll leave grass behind. That'll pull grass up and leave it behind. And so a tornado went by my car, like when I was in the car, within 1,000 feet of me.
Oh my
God
God.
damn.
And that's probably when I lost my nerve for storm chasing or being out in it. I don't like driving in thunderstorms. It's one of the things that drew me here was it doesn't really happen here.
No, rarely. Like, we got a flash of lightning yesterday, and we haven't seen that in like 3 years.
Yeah, right. I remember the first time I heard like thunder, so I've been here over a year. I was like, oh, it does happen, but it's so rare.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
And when it does happen, it's for like 10 minutes.
Right, the air, it's like...
And even, honestly, even the rain here isn't as, like, I lived in Minnesota, and it was so much worse. Like, those monsoons that you get hit with, where it just, I mean, it's like being under a waterfall.
We'll say
for
yesterday...
like an hour.
Yesterday, and we should get back to the movie after this, but yesterday I picked John up from work, and when it hailed for like 10 minutes on the way home. It got gnarly for a minute yesterday.
Yeah, I was out in it. I was driving back from new place to old place.
Yeah.
To get more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was rough. And then by the time I got there, it had stopped.
Yeah.
The rain made the drive take 40 minutes, and that was how long it took for the whole thing to go by.
Yeah.
So my one qualm with this movie, and I'm curious what you guys' thoughts are on this. Why? So Mount St. Helens exists.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Baker exists. Dante's Peak does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just make it Mount St. Helens?
Mount St. Helens is notoriously litigious as a landform, just constantly suing people for using their image and likeness. So they had to make up. They couldn't do.
That's really it. Oh,
no, I have no idea.
Oh, I believed you. All right,
probably because
That's the
They
line.
couldn't- they
That's my
couldn't-
line.
You're about to get hard G's for the rest of this fucking episode.
They couldn't afford the likeness rights to Mount St. Helens.
To St.
But
Helens.
they still
My
used
guess
it, right?
is that Mount St. Helens had already erupted, so it would have to be a movie that took place in the 80s.
That's awesome.
Or
Instead
70s.
of current day, which costs more money.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
Especially then.
And then, other than that, I mean, you have to. You can sell an audience on this happening with a non-existent volcano because you can create the conditions you want. Whereas if it's like Mount Baker or Mount Hood, you have to justify why these things are going to happen, and then that can cause way more public backlash because we all know that like Mount Hood's not going to erupt,
Yeah.
and Mount Rainier is not going to erupt.
Yeah.
Like it's just there's not enough for that to happen to based on something real.
Oh my God! So they used a fake one for the same reason that the guy that was going to dump money. They don't want to ruin a town.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what if a guy is trying
Their
to
legacy.
invest a bunch of money into a town next to Mount St. Helens,
Right.
and then you make this movie, and the movie fucks it up.
Right.
The movie about that town getting their entrepreneur fucks up a real entrepreneur
They don't want to.
from investing in a real town,
Yeah.
so they have to make up a whole thing. It just occurred to me now that if they make another volcano movie, it should be about Mount Tabor because that's the only active volcano in a city.
Like, just remake Volcano, but have it take place in Portland
And that's
on Mount Tabor.
The cutest, tiniest little volcano.
yeah, right. Cruising down Montevilla. Well, there's an open mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
40
people.
comics down out front going, "What?
Yeah.
You guys see this magma? What's up with all this magma?" Well, I got 3 minutes. I'm just gonna get my set in before it's not moving that fast, and I'm next. So I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get these
Who runs
jokes
the
off.
magma mic?
Yeah, who runs this?
Right.
Who books that?
Right. Everybody's at the Laurel Park outdoor show.
Yeah.
Boom. A couple blocks away. Rah!
Lighting their cigarettes on the
Don't
snake. of
don't forget to
lava.
tip. It was. I mean, as far as making a more realistic disaster movie, this is the one city with a volcano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty fun. I mean, it could be a fun movie. And now I don't live next to it, so
You're like,
do it up.
go for it.
I mean, I looked up the ramifications of Mount Rainier erupting, which is slightly more likely than Mount Hood. And Seattle's fucked if that happens.
Really?
Like real bad. Not because of magma flow, but because I
Ash?
forgot exactly what it's called. Ash being one, but it's going to create rivers of boiling mud.
Oh,
Whoa!
Yeah.
that's wild.
Oh man!
I mean, we had that.
Rivers
You
of
weren't here when
boiling
we
mud.
had all the ash. That was gnarly.
From the
the
gorge fire.
fires.
Yeah.
It
When
was
was that?
insane.
That was 2017.
No, there was in like 2020.
Was
You
it
remember
20
that?
The gorge fire?
Not the gorge fire.
Oh
the
no,
other
just
one.
the early 20. Yeah.
It was like
That's
it was
right.
weird. Like you couldn't go outside. It was poisonous.
There
It
was
the sky was like blood orange.
right. I
or
wasn't
blood
here for
red.
that. I was here right before I officially moved here. I was staying at a motel for like a month looking for a place, and during that month there was wildfires in southern Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and they just kept getting closer until there was a week where it was just dark all the time, but like
Yeah.
red.
Uh-huh.
But like there should have been sun. It wasn't cloudy,
It's weird.
and I was just like, how fucking close is this? Why is this? I've never had to deal with, the Midwest has its own, tornadoes and stuff, but the wildfire was like, should I leave? How
Well, dude, even
close does it get before you know you should leave?
even in LA, prior to the big fires that just happened, when there were fires out there, like it never got that bad in
No,
Southern
this-
California.
Right? It tends to get close, but not. It doesn't wipe out entire cities. Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
whole fucking areas are gone. Like the first time I saw a tornado I was 12, maybe 11, and I lived in a town in southern Illinois, and you could see it in the distance. It was far away, but not that a few miles away. But it erased a town.
Mm-hmm.
The next exit up, the town called Albion, Illinois, there was like 500 people live there. The town was just gone, and it's been gone.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before I was afraid of them because I didn't know really what was happening. But there was a Nashville one that I have a bit about. Yeah, I might have heard the bit, but where I called the front desk and I go, "What county are we in?" And the lady goes, "I don't know. I don't work nights."
Oh yeah.
That one, there was a self-storage place behind the hotel that in the morning was a fucking wreck. Like it hit that close to the hotel.
Damn.
Like, that was so close where I made a playlist of songs I'd be okay being the last song I was listening to when I died.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Yeah. I still have that playlist. I started using it on planes this year.
I was gonna say,
no
I was
reason.
like, I'm like thinking about Almost Famous. Just like, I'm gay, and then it stops.
But yeah, we know. We know.
So as they're escaping the lava, what was your favorite close call? Do you guys have favorite close calls?
I got mine.
Yeah, what's your favorite close call, Bjorn?
I like when they're in the cabin and it like comes through the wall like
Yeah.
like an anaconda, as you were saying.
That was dope.
Like, yeah, they all would have died, but that was cool.
Right, from being close to it.
They were
They would've
way
just
too
been
close.
Suck the oxygen right out of the room.
Right, they're like they're like coal fire pizza or whatever. They just close enough to the heat that they're cooked.
Yeah.
It's like you can still burn your feet on the fire without touching it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like-
do. What, do you have one? Do you have a favorite close call?
I mean, close call. No, I have a favorite moment.
What's your favorite moment?
It is the lake scene.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that scene's like straight out of a horror movie.
yeah.
It is honestly very scary.
Yeah, and the monster is just so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the moment when the engine stops, like his oh shit moment
Yeah.
is such a perfect, like, well, of course, hindsight, you would think we should also have oars,
Right.
but it's such a, like, everything's fucked. You just gotta go, and
Yeah.
it doesn't occur to you that this will eat up the engine too. Like,
Right.
so
When they start singing "Row, row, row your boat," it like sends chills down my
It's
spine. 'Cause It's like,
creepy.
oh, they are settling into death. This is gnarly.
And he is such a good father.
Yeah.
Right?
Lyndall
These
Hamilton
kids-
just like, damn, you
These
are
kids
perfect.
I
Stepdad material. Oh, baby.
How many times do they make this movie where the abandoning father shows up at some point to create an obstacle? I love that person never makes an
Yeah.
appearance. in
Yeah,
the
Where
yeah.
the
movie.
fuck is Brian? We know his name. They use his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it works.
Bill Paxton. That's who I was.
Right.
He's off there
Fuck.
chasing
Tornadoes.
storms.
Right, he shows
He's a
up.
fucking storm chaser now.
Right, he has to save Linda Hamilton, her two kids, and their new maid,
Yeah.
Yep.
whose name is Brianna. Right, doesn't look much like the old dad, but smells like him. The kids feel feel like they recognize that person.
Oh yeah, Miss Surewater.
Right, Surefire.
Surewire.
Right, no doubt
Sure
here.
wind.
Look at it. We can see it. We know. This is
Definitely
not-
wind.
There's no faith involved. We have information on this.
The kids have new fear found in mountains. Meanwhile, Bill Paxton shows up and he's scared of The Shining.
Yeah. So the Chekhov's thing in this is that elf
the mine.
thing.
The mine.
It's
The
the
mine
Chekhov's
and
mine.
the elf. The machine. The
Oh,
the
yeah.
Oh
NASA machine.
yeah.
Not Dorothy.
Not Dorothy.
Right. Those were a combo Chekhov.
Yeah.
But also the Dorothy connection. So much twister.
Yeah. So for those of you who haven't watched this yet, in the beginning, we find Linda Hamilton's son. She's going to wrangle her kids. Linda Hamilton's son is hiding out in an old closed-off mine, and that's where they hide out from the pyroclastic cloud.
I got
Yeah.
so
In
many
the end.
mixtapes in there.
Yeah.
Snacks.
It's got snacks. It's his
I want to
little-
hang out there.
That's his little fort.
Yeah. People. Was that his stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was all his stuff.
All right. So I never really put that together. I thought that was like when I saw the stuff at the end. I was like, oh, so when they closed this mine, they just didn't tell anybody, and they just locked. Like people showed up and were like,
It's just-
my stuff's in there. All
oh
my
no,
tapes.
they locked them in. There's just decayed bodies in there.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, that'd be easier for them to take because they already saw those two boiled up ones.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, was that town built by the mine, like one of those mining towns where they just like own everything? And
It sounds like it.
exploit everybody.
It
Yeah,
sounds like it because, I mean, I don't remember them saying it specifically, but it feels like the town was a mining town, It went to shit, kind of like
Wallace.
October Sky.
Actual Wallace.
Yep.
Right. Kind of like every mining town.
Right. And then Linda Hamilton became mayor. It's like, no, we're going to turn this fucking thing around and make it something else. And she made a tourist town, even though there's no tourists.
I mean, yeah, there's skiing nearby there.
Sure.
Yeah. That's the kind of place where
reality.
you just build 2 golf courses and some frisbee golf and some bike trails, and you can make it could be a tourist town.
It feels like it's Williams, Arizona to the Grand Canyon. You know?
I mean, the actual town, they took out a bunch of train tracks, and it's all bike paths,
Oh, okay.
which is really
Oh.
cool.
That's
I
cool.
think I biked it once with my dad at some point in my childhood.
Whoa.
That actual,
It
it's
looks
cool
like a
'cause you
rad
go-
little town.
because you go through all these like train tunnels and stuff,
Oh, that's awesome.
which is really cool. Because it's just a paved, really easy bike path.
Yeah, yeah.
We should go there sometime as a
Yeah.
club, the 3 of us, and see. There's probably a Dante's Peak museum.
Probably.
I'm
Some-
sure they had a sign up for years after, like the movie had been out for so long. and
It would
they
be cool to
kept
do
it
that.
up.
And
I
also,
mean, they should still. The Food Chow restaurant in Chinatown in LA still has a big sign about how it was in rush hour.
Yeah.
And that's Chinatown in LA. It's been in more
There's-
movies than Rush Hour.
yeah.
There's a down by the docks in northwest Portland. There's the place where Tanya Harding wrote down the schedule and then threw it in a trash, and the FBI found it. That bar, you can go there. It's called Dockside, and
Really?
they have like a little plaque about that.
Wow.
That really happened. Like that's where she got the ice skating schedule and threw it away.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, that's fun. Right, and we're also not that. We're 47. According to a song I know, we're 47 miles away from where D.B. Cooper came down.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
We're also about an hour and a half from where they shot the exteriors of The Shining.
I mean,
Really?
We can go do
And,
that today.
I mean, there's also
we're way closer to where the Twilight Town is. That's only about an hour from here.
And there's, like-
Longview or whatever,
Yeah.
Kelso, whatever.
Longview is about 50 minutes.
And there's
yeah.
also like Goonies house,
Yeah.
short
saw
circuit
Goonies.
house,
Apparently,
and the arcade they actually put an arcade where the arcade was in what town is that? Now I can't think of what it's called on the coast.
I don't even
Like
know.
Italy?
Astoria.
Astoria, yeah.
They actually put an arcade where the arcade scene when they drive by
Mm.
and he's
Oh.
playing there. That was just an empty building, and they made it an arcade, but
Cool.
now it's an actual arcade.
I went to Astoria one. The only time I went, I just wanted to see the Goonies house,
Yeah.
and went to the coast, but I wanted to see that. And while I was looking for the Goonies house, I saw the school from Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, whoa, this little town.
yeah,
They have
This little
a.
town has every fucking 1978 birth certificate kid.
yep.
Well, and the old jail down there is a film museum now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they
Ooh.
escaped from for the Goonies.
And there's a new owner of the Goonies house that hasn't put up a bunch of roadblocks, so they're actually okay if you go take pictures now.
I got there after, and there was a big sign that goes, "We're cool about it now." It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
Parking's kinda
Imagine
tough,
buying the
Parking's
Goonies house
very
and then being
tough.
like, "Why is everybody leave us alone?" Well, don't buy the Goonies house,
Don't
man.
buy that house.
Yeah.
Like, it couldn't have been the only one. Like, I get it, but you got to be kind of cool about it.
Here's the thing. I get it for the same reason that the lady just sold the Breaking Bad house. Because she was sick and fucking tired of waking up to pizzas on her
Oh,
roof.
pizza's on her roof. That's so funny.
Well, that's dumb. People, I can't abide people wasting pizza.
And throwing it on a
But
stranger's
if you just
roof.
have, like, if I bought the Goonies house, I'd be like, if you're gonna come by, come after lunch or before dinner and take your pictures.
Yeah.
And they have like a little donation
cool
box
about it.
too. You can throw some cash in there.
Right.
for
That's all you
your
need is
selfie.
just be cool about it. Don't
Don't be a dick.
block the driveway. Don't fuck with the neighbors.
Yeah.
Don't come after dark. Don't come too early. Like,
Just walk
be a
up to the house,
reasonable-
pull your shirt up, take a picture, and leave.
yeah. Smack
Truffle
your
shuffle
belly,
and leave.
Yeah.
Bring your 4 friends, and don't get on the porch, but
Yeah.
you can put it behind you. That's how I feel about that stuff. Like, it is. Important's not the right word, but you get why it would be like
It's culturally
compelling,
significant.
right? Culturally significant is a good phrase. That's the perfect phrase. Now, don't go to the Kindergarten Cop Elementary School at all. That is a definite after dinner time thing, or during the summer. But that's a safety concern.
Yeah.
But it's like if the school that Springfield Elementary was drawn off over there in Alphabet City, whatever it's called, whatever that neighborhood's called in Portland. I don't know what it's
how
called,
much of
but
the Simpsons shit is here.
I just call it Alphabet City because that's where all the Flanders and Quimby and all that shit is.
Mm-hmm.
If they got mad that people were like, "Hey, look, like just sorry, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
You're a real life version thing from a cartoon everybody loves.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
So what was, do we say your favorite part or favorite lava thing? Oh,
Close
it was
call.
the boat. You
No,
liked the
mine
boat.
was the boat.
His was
Yours
the boat. I do like. The thing that stands out. It's not my favorite thing because I think all of it is stupid. Of this moment, like, but the lady climbing out of the boat is just such a contrived. Like, what's the opposite of a heel turn? Like you caused this to happen because you're obstinate, but now in your final moment to do something good, you do, and it redeems everything. Like they still are probably gonna die.
They still have to traverse down the mountain on foot while there is an active volcanic eruption happening.
Yeah.
Because of you.
And then she got, her skin got burned up.
Yeah.
And then that made her die a little bit later.
Yeah.
A real sort of, I don't.
Yeah.
That, and then you have the whole, my son was an idiot. Yeah, the whole time. Then why have you been like this? Did you just figure it out in the last 2 minutes? Because you finally, something hurt you?
We even talked about the unnecessary broken bone yet.
Oh, yeah, we haven't gotten to that. The end of it, that would probably be, that's my favorite part, is how many more struggles they threw on the 4 people we like in the last 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's already pretty dangerous, and surviving it would be remarkable. Even just all 4 of them together trapped in that cave-in.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they set it up so he had to crawl back to turn the machine on, that obviously he could have just turned on the minute he picked it up at the office.
Right.
And he could have just left it in the truck. They still would have found him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crawl back, cave in, that separates him from the rest of the crew. Another one that knocks him down, makes it look like it's trapped his legs. So that's what I thought was broken. Then they show the bone coming out of his arm. Then he crawls with the bone coming out of his arm into the truck, and then more cave in, and the truck, the only space left in the truck is just perfect size for him. It just fits him.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing all this to their main character? It's so many more things.
Because the town was number 2.
Yeah. Pioneer
Jeff.
days.
And now it's nothing. It's not on the list at all because there's no town.
It's gone.
It's toast.
They
Also,
decimated that fucking town.
Right, the boss man, the red tape boss man dying on that bridge.
Oh, dude,
that
with
was
the
so
Wilhelm
good.
scream. That
Yeah.
was so great.
Oh, yeah. We got that out, too. Yeah. That was great.
They threw it in like there's no way they would have heard him scream.
No.
No.
Also, just jump. Why didn't he even try to jump?
He didn't even try. Not even a little
Or
bit.
Jeff found out about car snorkels, what those are, exhaust snorkels. Did you know
No.
that dumb thing that people that are truck
That's
people
the
do?
thing. When he drove that truck across the river, I'm gonna do the part that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set up my context for it. I thought that the truck being able to drive across the river, it had that thing that came up the top. that
Yeah.
looked like a periscope. I thought that all of that was the movie version of a thing that could be real. Like, this is how this could work. Apparently,
It's a real thing.
it's a real thing.
It's like a truck person thing.
Oh,
You'll
sure.
see them on the road.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
dumb.
I thought it was a cold air intake.
It's just like it's
just
so
a
that
snorkel?
it's a snorkel for the engine.
Okay.
So you can drive it through
Water.
water.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it
no,
an
that checks
intake?
out.
Is it pulling the stuff? Is it pulling air? Because you need the air to come in.
I think it's both. Because if it goes in the
I just
outtake,
never-
I don't know. I don't know that much about it. I just know it's a real thing.
I didn't.
It
and
made
seeing,
sense for
seeing
me.
all the other cars, right? It made sense to me, but I never once thought it was real. I was just like, oh, a movie truck, cool
Yeah.
movie truck.
Mhm.
But then when he turned off the road to drive across the river, the number of cars that followed him,
So funny.
they were just like, he knows a way. Or were they just like, let's try the river because this ain't working?
I think it's because they just watched the bridge collapse.
In your
Yeah, it's either
LeBaron? Like, what are you going to do? What?
But what else are they
3
going to
feet
do?
of water. That's true.
The
That's
the
true.
only way out of the town
There's
just
that bridge.
collapsed.
Yeah.
So if I see that, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's try the water.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because the river wasn't acid yet.
Not yet.
So they should have just thrown boats in the river and gone downstream, because the cars were going the same way the river was flowing. So that's going away from the volcano. So if you just jump in the river in a canoe or whatever,
Yeah.
and go and let the water, I mean, once the dam breaks, if you're still in there, you're toast. But
Yeah.
you might be able to get far enough away on the river, but further than a car would.
Sure.
It is funny that they get stuck, and the thing that saves them isn't because somebody drove their car into the river, knocks them loose, and they can keep going. But that whole thing blew my mind. It never once occurred to me that could be real.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was a movie thing, like Elf, like the Elf thing, the NASA thing, all of it.
The NASA thing isn't too terribly far off for something that's real, though.
No, I mean that seems more real than Dorothy.
Because back then it wouldn't have been a device, but I know that I think it's, and this is not the same thing as USGS, but Navy SEALs have watches that have activated GPS devices in them.
Yeah.
So my friend used to have one, and you pull something out of it and it activates a beacon that the military comes and gets you.
Yeah,
it's like a $25,000 watch, but that's real.
That seems low.
$25,000.
I mean, because there are watches that can't do that cost way more.
Yeah, I was
I mean, nowadays.
I was looking at the list of like the watches from White Lotus, and I was like, damn, that lady's wearing a $200,000 watch.
Oh yeah,
That shit is nuts.
I'd rather ballpark it.
Does it even tell time? It just tells time too.
I shot a commercial for a very high end watch store in Portland at the Ritz-Carlton, and if you can't figure it out from there, that's on you. But their base price watch, I think, was $12,000.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Swatch. I didn't know there was a Swatch watch store in Portland.
I'll stick with my Timex or my Casio.
Yeah, I've got a little Samsung smartwatch. I love it. Big fan.
Right. So I mean, driving on rims. This movie was cool.
This movie's cool.
I like the story of this movie better than Volcano.
Because it's an actual volcano.
Right. It's an actual volcano. That's true. That helps.
It's not lava seeping out of the ground of Los Angeles.
Right. The Los Angeles it just overflowed.
Yeah.
It is stopped up.
I was thinking about this morning. What if his wife didn't die in the opening scene? How awkward how would this movie go?
I think they probably would have separated.
Like separated by now?
Yeah.
Like if he showed up with his wife, or if like she came later with the team.
Well, no, because then it would have just been Twister.
That's Twister.
It would have been, he would have brought her along, and then she, like, some kind of dynamic would have forced them to separate. She would have left.
Yeah. Those volcano chasers.
I think it just would have been. This movie doesn't need the love story.
No,
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
So if his wife is still alive, I think the movie's better. You shave off 6 minutes.
Yeah.
But the 6 minutes are not necessary. And it's like a better character to just be a guy trying to save this family with he's not trying to fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you would still do that. Like
right.
The hero, you're not gonna let these kids die because you're still married or whatever. Like it's always, they always throw that one unnecessary thing into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know so we all like this movie, right?
I really I love this movie.
I do too.
The Rotten Tomatoes score, both critics and audiences, is way too low.
Right. This is the kind of movie where if it came out 20 years later, the critic score is way higher.
Yeah.
In the 90s, there was 55 critics or whatever that they would aggregate, and just whatever the newspaper ones were.
Yeah.
But now they take in like there would be like 350 reviews. That's why the last two Bad Boys movies have much higher critic scores than the first two, but the first two are better.
Yeah.
It was just Roger Ebert and the guy that wrote for Rolling Stone and the SF Gate or whatever, they didn't care for it, so it drags that down.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got Ain't It Cool News will write about it. Be like, this is dope.
And
So
I
that
fucking
counts.
love science for some reason.
Yeah. .com. I fucking love science for some reason.com. You can check out all our movie reviews. And we tell you whether or not this could happen. We're Neil deGrasse Tyson of ruining the fun, which seems to be his MO. For any, there's no fire in space. Yeah, we know, or we don't. Who cares? We're never going there. I also don't know if I believe you. You've never been there. We don't know.
Yeah.
Space is huge. There's probably fire somewhere.
Yep.
Not ours. Not the part that we could see. But maybe keep going. See? No one can tell me nothing. Space is infinite, which means there's fire, and then that also means that at some point there's fire that feels cold. Because it's infinite. Every possibility is possible. There's fire people and they're lovely. They eat really bland food. It's shocking. You would think they would want to spice it up. But it's infinite.
It is.
There's ice people that love hot sauce.
What is happening right now?
I don't know. My brain hurts.
I don't know, magma. There's a lot of fucking...
Did you go to the Creationist Museum? It's like, no, I'm going to hit this, but way opposite.
Yeah, I've been to the Creationist
Museum.
Museum.
I shared this with Jeff last night. I feel like that little girl moved to Portland and opened a crystal shop because she fully believes in crystals now.
Dude, did you catch the joke in it that he made about crystals?
No.
What was it?
There's a bit when they're up on the mountain and the guy, I guess he's the closest to the Philip Seymour Hoffman character, the bearded guy who gets caught.
Yeah.
He talks about how he's like really great with matchmaking or whatever. And he goes, "What about so-and-so?" And he goes, "What about her?" And he's like, "She was nice. We liked her." And she goes, "Yeah, she was into crystals." And they're like,
"Oh no!" He says she was into rocks.
She was into
and
rocks.
Pierce Brosnan goes, "She was into
crystals." Yeah,
She was into crystals.
That's what it was.
Corrects her.
I love that joke so much.
It was very funny. But he's referring to in the boat when the younger sister is scared and the older brother goes, "Here, you can hold this crystal if you want." She goes, "I can keep it." Like this is what.
Yeah.
They're all about to die. And she's like, "For halvesies, I can have it."
For havers? We might only be living for 5 more minutes. So yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right. He's really just trying to empty his pockets so he don't sink. It's bad for her to keep it. She should chuck it.
Yeah.
But so that lady should have climbed out of the boat and drug him to the front. Also, when the engine died, why was there no momentum? Why did the boat stop
It just
immediately?
stopped. Yeah. It's probably from all the
Because it was
slurried fish.
sinking. It was like
Actually, if it's pulling weight.
But it still should have kept going a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
Like a little, yeah.
It should. Good point.
They were pretty close. It does. I mean,
Yeah,
it
that's where the
doesn't
movie
matter.
falls apart for me.
Turn
it off.
Yeah. It falls
Not when
apart-
they drive a truck through a river of lava and get stuck and then still have... We were talking about rims they just must have been driving on rims the rest of the time.
Yeah.
I think they were.
Well, it wasn't that
Scraps the
much because
tires.
once they do it, they that's when the thing happens and they just has to drive fast and crash into the mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So that's really after he's off the lava. That's all we see. I don't know how close I was. I can't believe they found the dog somehow. That seems nuts.
That's apparently a writer's trademark.
Right, and they also crossed a river at some point, so that means the dog did too.
Yep.
The lake, because this was after the lake.
Because that was where it took off.
He runs out of the house, and then they cross the lake, and somehow on the other side of the lake they find the dog.
Well, keep in mind, the lake's not a moat.
Yeah, it's like the lake.
I know,
could
but
go
still.
around.
If it was that easy to get around, how did the dog left 2 minutes before they did? How did the dog get around the lake and they took the boat? They should have just followed the dog.
That dog knows all the ins and outs.
Let me ask you this,
there.
Jeff. How many times have you outran a dog?
I mean, eventually, you could catch up to them. They're not that. They're
quick.
fast, but they're not impossible. And that dog seemed old.
Yeah.
They probably could have caught up to that dog. That dog seemed like he would have hung around the crew.
Yeah, why'd he take off?
They
What
were
was
going.
he doing?
That's all. I mean,
He was
it
chewing
is
on all
like
those
the
dead
dog-
squirrels.
you know,
Dog
it
had a
happens
2-minute
in that other
advance.
movie she writes. It also happens in Independence Day. Like, thinking a dog is dead and then it not being dead is much better than just
dog
killing off
being
the
I
dog.
mean, it
Yeah.
is kind of fun. It is fun.
It is
You're
fun.
like,
Yeah.
oh, the dog's here. Jump in the car.
I mean, it's a cool moment, but
Yeah.
as the first time you watch it, you're like, oh, cool, the dog, and then after that, it's like,
What's his name? Ruffy
it feels
or something?
cynical.
Ruffy, yeah. So Wolf Mix.
It feels manipulative.
Yeah.
Is how I think about it.
Are we gonna do the questions and just?
Well, we gotta.
Yeah, we gotta go to. We're gonna throw it to the Raz, and then we'll come back with the question. So
yeah.
That's a good point. Let's see what the Raz has to say. We're here with the Raz talking Dante's Peak. What'd you think of it, man? Did you see it? Was this the one you saw in the theater?
I didn't see it in the theater, but I've seen it before.
Yeah.
I've seen it at some point. It was, it's a volcano movie. It's a movie. It's a Pierce Brosnan movie.
Yeah.
It's a, it's tough. There's better disaster movies, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's a volcano. I love a good volcano. I like hiking on mountains. I like nature. I like, but movies like this, I just can't, like when the boss is like, hey, go investigate these things. And then all of a sudden the boss is like, no, don't tell them to evacuate. It's like, what are you doing?
Right. When they do the find out what's going on. And then no, not like that. I wanted you to find out nothing was going on. Go find out nothing's happening. There's a thing in movies where they put a lot of red tape, like red tape is kind of a villain. They did it in that Sully movie too, which like wasn't really accurate. Like nobody tried to take down Sully after that. He was almost across the board considered, even by aviation people, a hero.
Right.
But they like to throw in the government regulations is a bad thing. It's propaganda.
Well, right. It's a interesting thing because I don't know. It's like such a catch-all plot hole. Where like, let's just make a rule. Let's add law. Let's add red tape. Exactly as you said, as the reason why it's not. As the foil or as the what's the conflict? Rules.
Right.
What's
rules.
the conflict? Rules.
And that makes my particular brain. Really, it's really hard on my brain when they're like, I can't do it. Like, you totally can. It's not a law. I'm not asking you to break a law. I'm asking you to do what's right, even though something.
Yeah. It's when it comes to a volcano movie, to me, the conflict is how fast can you run?
Yeah.
Like, it's the opening scene. I was excited for this movie because, again, I haven't seen it in a while and I forgot a lot about it. But then I opened it up, I pressed play. And it was immediate. It was like that hard rain where it was just, hey, guess what?
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a storm. I'm like, is this whole movie just going to be them evacuating during a volcano eruption? That would be awesome. And then the girl's head gets impaled by that piece of rock. And I'm like, this movie's sick because I forgot all of it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like 3 years later and he looks almost like he looks younger than what he did prior in the car. Almost.
Yeah.
Like,
he's all cleaned up. He was all like shaggy, and I like a shaggy Pierce Brosnan, like I like a shaggy like Don Johnson. Like the shaggy versions of them are more interesting to me than the well put together. I pushed play on it. I thought I'd seen it. Turns out I hadn't. I just knew a couple of things about it. I pushed play on it and then went to get a soda or whatever, like when the opening shit started. Got back and thought that it wasn't the beginning. It feels like it starts 15 minutes in.
I would be lying if I didn't say I didn't press my remote to double check to make sure it wasn't.
Yeah, it's one like I can't believe it's like the I know you love Tom Cruise, but like, so the beginning of that second Jack Reacher movie, if that was the end of the second Jack Reacher movie, I would have liked that movie so much better. Like, I want to see that movie. What the fuck was that? Like, why do we see the end of this dope ass thing? And then the rest is what it was. Like, I still like it because of how much I just love, like, I'm super biased for Jack Reacher stuff. But the end of, like, that scene that starts that movie, I want to see that whole movie. And that's how I felt about Dante's was like, I want to see. This is the end of the movie I want to see, not the beginning of the movie that is.
It's an interesting thing because I've had ideas for like action movies where it's the whole movie is the third act, right?
Yeah.
Like there's something fun about just like, that's what I love about the mission movies is it's like, hey, we're already in this. They're going to save it. Then there's a whole nother fucking movie. But imagine if it was like a bank heist or like a shoot 'em up movie where it just opens, boom. It's like Mad Max Fury Road. Like imagine Fury Road if it opened and there was already the chase going on and the guy's playing the fire guitar. And then you have the movies just like that. Like, who gives a fuck? Hey, guess what? You can tell me that you can lead up the bullet points as the movie's going or just have pieces of dialogue, but the whole movie is the third act of the bank heist where they're shooting people and killing people or whatever. And it just starts like in it.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of like Hard Rain. It was like Hard Rain is like, hey, guess what? The rain's already here and we're already kind of doing
Yeah, it's happening.
Then there's right. There's something about like that. Like even like this is like, what if the volcano's already gone? Hey, it's already gone.
If the movie Taken starts when they get to the sidewalk and she's on the phone with her dad,
yeah,
that it could start there. We learn everything we need to know over the next 10 minutes. It's her dad. And then that when he talks to the kidnapper, I'm coming for you or whatever, we're just like, who the fuck is this? This is awesome. It's a much better movie.
Imagine if John Wick #1, which is a flawless, great movie as it is, opened up with him in that Russian nightclub where he's going through the bathrooms and shooting people, and it opens with that, and people are like, what are you doing? And he's just they killed my dog. And then boom. And
right.
And
that's a good example. But it is also, that's kind of a movie that also does what we're talking about, because 15 years ago, that movie would have started with his wife being in the hospital and like building all that up. And this one is just like, this is a guy, his wife died, he gets a dog, they kill the dog, all of that takes. Hey, we're back. That was the Raz. And now we're back with the questions. It's Bjorn's part of the show.
Yeah.
So we kind of covered it, but like you had a recast for this for
I do.
Dante's Peak.
I do. I think this movie is story is the same. I basically have two, and they're both just 1-to-1s. Like you could keep Pierce Brosnan, but then import everyone from Twister.
Okay. And
just have them be Pierce Brosnan's team and have Bill Paxton play the boss guy.
Yep.
The red tape guy.
Sure.
The movie is substantially better if you just replace it with those actors. You could also, this might be my issue with why I like Volcano so much is I like that cast better.
Yeah, it's a better cast.
It's a better cast. The story is dumber. But you take all those people, Tommy Lee Jones and Don Cheadle and Anne Heche, and you just move them into this movie. And I like this movie more.
Yeah.
But this movie is, you combine the two things and make one really good
Volcano.
Right? It would be like 7.4 on IMDb if it was that cast in this movie.
Oh, like just take the cast of Volcano.
Yeah,
and move it to this movie.
Make the same exact movie, but everybody plays their counterpart or whatever. Like his team in Volcano is, Don Cheadle is a better everything than anybody outside of it's a better secondary character and actor than anybody in this movie. Honestly, he's a better actor than Pierce Brosnan. Like you could put him in the lead.
Oh, yeah.
And Tommy Lee Jones could be the boss. All of these things, it's just the cast is kind of weak outside of the leads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like Linda Hamilton. I don't think it's hard to find someone who could do a better job though. Mm-hmm. She was great in The Terminator and The Terminators, but outside of that, I haven't really seen anything and even in that, it's what does she do?
John made a good point when I was rewatching it earlier today. He's like, I can't take Linda Hamilton seriously if she's not fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the other thing is it's hard to buy her as somebody who isn't capable.
Yeah.
Because she's not in enough movies where because what would she do between the Terminators? She was in the Beauty and the Beast. It was a television show. I think Ron Perlman might have been the Beast.
Wait, like the reality show?
No, it was like a nighttime drama, like a Knots Landing type.
Oh, really?
Evening soap.
Interesting.
When I was young, 10, 11, to like late 80s, early 90s. But even that, like, she wasn't a damsel in distress.
Right.
And last night you wouldn't stop talking about her hair.
Oh yeah,
It looks like she's wearing a wig.
there is something with Linda Hamilton where she never seems to have a haircut that fits her face shape. Like, she just need a better stylist for that. The one time it works, like we were talking, was in The Terminator, but that was just because in 1984 everybody had the same haircut.
Yeah.
She just
So
had
it
that
doesn't.
one.
It doesn't work, but it doesn't stand out as much. By the time 97 rolls around, people have figured out how to shape their face.
Well, doesn't she have like a side shave or something in the later Terminators?
In Genesis, I think.
Yeah.
I think she does. Yeah.
Yeah, that works
that
better,
works.
right? She's more like, looks like a warrior.
Yeah.
And that's what she is, and that's why it's a little hard to buy her in this as a war. Like, Helen Hunt in Twister, you replace her with Helen Hunt. Helen Hunt can do both, because we've seen Helen Hunt do both.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Helen Hunt is very capable in Twister, but she could be in between in this one. But it just, Linda Hamilton doesn't need. Honestly, I would probably like this movie if you just flipped Linda Hamilton and Pierce Brosnan.
Oh.
Pierce
the
Brosnan's a single father, mayor, runs a coffee shop. Linda Hamilton knows everything about volcanoes.
I like
Like-
that.
And then carries him up onto the.
Yeah. And then it's her
and
arm
carries
bone
her
we see.
mom or his mom.
Yeah. It's his mother-in-law is real.
That's
I
so
can't
fucking
believe.
funny.
Right? I mean, it would be. This is what we know. This is the off-screen persona, like,
Yeah.
that she brings to any role she plays
Mhm.
is the Sarah Connor.
Yeah, actually, that makes
Touchdown.
like more sense almost. Because
It'd be
like for me, for some reason, I just kind of don't believe Pierce Brosnan would know all that stuff.
It's the accent, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
British people don't know
I think
shit
it's-
about volcanoes.
I just
Why
think
would
it's
they?
the fact that he doesn't drive a stick shift vehicle, and for some reason, that just bleeds into everything else. I'm like, all right, you're just a fake boy,
She totally drives stick.
but she drives. Yeah, where like there should have been a scene where he gets into the truck, like, oh, okay, I'll drive, and like, oh no, and then she's like, whatever, I grew up here.
Right? What's his third pedal? Mine only have two.
What's his third pedal?
I can't find P. Which one of these do I click into P?
Yeah.
I need to find D. Where's D? I got to do the
Where's
D so I
D?
can 2, 3, 4. Which one means D?
Which one's D?
The kid could drive
Yeah,
a stick.
the kid got it. He's like 3 on the tree or whatever.
Yeah, so that's what I think about this movie is like the story and everything about the movie is dope. Like the effect, like the 1997 special effects,
Yeah.
all of it is cool.
They
It
don't
just
stand out poorly like 1997 movies that don't hold up.
No.
Like-
right. I mean, the only scene that stands out is the through the wall scene.
Yeah, the through the wall lava. That
Well, it had
that's-
the same. It just had the same like ripple. Like it looked exactly like when the anaconda snake
Yeah.
would you see the whole snake slide.
I feel
Yeah,
like they
yeah,
just
yeah.
color swapped something
Yeah.
from that same save a little bit. It's like we don't have to render shit. Just
Yeah.
just pop some more reds in there, take
Yeah.
the greens out.
Everything else seemed.
Yeah.
I'm almost to the point of practical. Like a lot of it was practical.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it was miniatures, but
Yeah.
a lot of that smashing up shit was things getting smashed up,
Mm-hmm.
and that was pretty good.
Yeah.
It just after the two leads, the cast is weak,
Yeah, I agree with that.
and that's the only thing. Like I think just
It's a Hallmark movie.
right. I think just leveling up every one of like the top 10 on the call sheet or whatever would make like that's all you'd have to do. You don't even have to change the script or anything about it. Just level up 3 through 10 and the movie is substantially better. So recast, just move that team over.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you guys have a sequel for Dante's
Yes,
Peak?
I do.
Ooh.
It's called Dante's Inferno, and it's a forest fire.
Ooh. I like that.
Yeah.
Town burnt. They just rebuilt. They're gonna have Pioneer Days again. They're bringing Linda Hamilton back to
Yeah.
like cut the ribbon on it.
They've
kid-
rebuilt the town.
They've rebuilt the town. Her son's out shooting fireworks.
Starts a fire, right?
Starts a fire, burns the whole goddamn place to the ground again.
The rest of the city council goes, it's way over there.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Right. We just have to get through until Friday. Then Pioneer Days is over.
The lake is still acidic, so they're just dropping acid water onto the town
Yep.
to try and stifle everything.
The lake has been spiked by PCP
With
by
PCP.
high school kids.
Yeah.
So the fire is high as shit.
Yeah. It is good.
It feels indestructible.
It's got tracers.
Yeah, I don't know what the only way that this continues is if there's another volcano he has to go study. And then it's just kind of okay.
So it's Mount Tabor.
Yeah, right.
It's
Like
just
I mean,
he lives on Mount Tabor.
yeah.
He does live in Portland. We don't know where. And I assume Mount Tabor.
it would make sense. He's drawn to it.
Yeah.
He's a big fan.
Yes.
It's just like
volcanoes.
it's like, oh man, wait, these readings, they're like right here. they got the like coffee cup, but it's like the where he sees the ripples in it. He's like, oh no.
A T-Rex.
It's like it's either a T-Rex or Mount Tabor's about to erupt.
Oh yeah, that was. It
There's
doesn't
like
fit
the-
of what we're talking about, but the last shot of the movie was of the town and the destruction or whatever, and it should have had the Pioneer Days
Yeah.
banner
Just
slowed
float
down.
Floated
yeah.
That's great.
Right, the Jurassic Park end. It would have been so fucking. I would have stood up and cheered.
Yeah. Fuck the weak cast. This is worth it.
My sequel is actually a prequel, and it's just Mrs. Doubtfire is the prequel to this movie.
Oh yeah, he gives
All right.
that relationship
enough.
doesn't work. He decides I'm going to go learn
know what?
everything about volcanoes.
Yeah.
I don't
Goes
know
back to school.
what was his job in Mrs. Doubtfire. He's probably worked at
Like a lawyer
advertising or something. Advertising lawyers, those nebulous jobs where you have enough money to do whatever is
Yeah.
required in the movie, but you don't ever want to talk about it.
Right.
He went back to school to become a volcanologist or whatever.
I think it was an
Volcanologist.
architect.
Ooh, architect.
Because I think
sounds
Sally
right.
Field is doing all the interior design for his new building.
And that's how they meet.
I think so.
Okay, so he quits.
That's another one of those. That's a perfect job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know just enough about it to know. Yeah, he'd probably have a nice car. That's all. That's all
Yeah.
you need, right? He draws houses and goes, "What if it looked like this?" And then somebody gives him $800,000.
All right. So is there? Does anyone get a Oscar in this movie?
I said production design. Like production design and special effects.
Did you have one?
I mean, outside of no, maybe the director. Like the director does a good job of putting this together. Like
Yeah.
the movie,
Yeah.
it moves. It doesn't. It's almost 2 hours, but it doesn't feel. I mean, once the volcano erupts, it's basically over immediately. Like it feels like when I watch it, like
Yeah.
it goes. The last
Very
hour
fast.
goes so fast that it's well done, and the way he does it with the long shots that turn and that kind of it spins through the room. It's very engaging. Every moment is engaging.
All the Dutch angles,
Dutch angles,
There's
yeah.
so many fucking Dutch angles in this movie.
like unnecessarily.
So the entire fucking meeting that they have
Just
to decide whether they're going to put the town on notice is all Dutch.
Right, but I mean the one that I'm thinking of in particular, the Dutch angles. This movie has so many that I now know what it means.
Yeah.
But there was some shots where like the crew would be in a room and the camera would be on one guy and then he would say his thing and then it would just spin to
Swing
the
back
other
and forth.
side.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so it kind of had that like it was a long take, but it had to move. Like that stuff is very engaging.
Yeah.
So I would say him or the dog. I give it to the dog for
Give it to the
not
dog.
dying. Dog survived.
I want to give it to the town of Wallace for just being cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole time. They did not stop being cute. You covered them with dust, and they still look cute.
I wouldn't say the whole
Yeah,
time.
debatable.
I know.
Parts of it
Debatable.
Parts of it were pretty gross. The volcano, and
Yeah.
the city council was pretty bad.
Yeah,
It's
I
true.
guess. All right, we got that. What about a description that's technically right but not great?
I got one.
Ooh, okay.
I came up with one. Hang on. I gotta find it. Okay. It is. 2 LA tourists find out why boiling meat is the least ideal way to cook.
Mine is a single mom juggles home work balance, work life balance.
Work-life balance. Ooh. I have a man will move heaven and earth to stop Pioneer Days.
Right.
I like that.
And I don't know. I wrote this one kind of quick. Harry swoops Linda Hamilton off her feet and finally gets her to move out of town.
I like that you used character name
Yep.
and then actor name.
Because I was just like, whatever.
Right. I mean, I can't remember her name.
I can't
I
remember
can't
her
either.
name.
I wrote in my recap. She's just the mayor.
Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor.
007 and Sarah Connor. Come on, this movie that should have just been on the poster.
Yeah,
right?
right.
It probably
Yeah.
there was probably ads that were like, come
Like,
see James Bond and Sarah Connor, like you've never seen it before.
running from a mountain.
Right, Fire on the Mountain is my alternate title.
Yeah, Fire on the Mountain.
Is that yours too?
No, but I like it. I love that restaurant too in Portland.
Yes.
I have 2. I don't even have to look at them.
Oh, yeah, better title for.
First one was Dutch Angles, the movie.
Ooh,
And then Volcano.
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 I love it.
Magma's Day Out.
Magma.
Big Magma's house.
Big
Big
Magma's
Magma's house. Oh, I like it. I don't think any of mine are gonna beat that. But
I lava you, man.
Harry versus the volcano.
Yeah, that's great.
The mountain is not enough. Reference to the Bond movie.
Yep.
Die Another Day. Lava 1000. It's so
Okay.
stupid. And volcanologist this. It's so stupid. That's all I
Lovely.
got. Yeah. Let's see. How should this have ended? Is there, or do we like it? Other than you said the banner, I can't beat that, but
I forgot about the how should this have ended. That's my answer.
yeah, that's.
The Pioneer Days banner should have
Yeah,
floated
right.
by the screen.
I think he shouldn't have broken his arm. I just didn't need that. They've gone through enough.
Yeah, I don't know. They drive the car down the mountain.
I mean, it's still pretty exciting
Or
that
they just get it collapses on
Oh, yeah,
them.
they just die.
They all.
I mean, honestly, I think you cut off a couple of those last obstacles or whatever.
Yeah.
It's already crazy.
Yeah,
it's
they're already caved in.
It's already super unlikely they get rescued and would be
Yeah.
a satisfying moment, no matter what. But to jam them up like that is just so. It just feels mean spirited to your main character. Like the movie's about this guy. This is
Yeah.
and we didn't even have to. It was for no reason, because they just show him get stuck, and then the next scene is him getting out. Like we don't have to live through any of it. So they just throw it out there so that we're like, oh yeah, he was fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't do anything. It didn't raise the stakes any
No.
higher because it was the very next scene.
It just didn't even need to be there.
There was that moment when the guy goes, "How long has this light been flashing?" And the other guy was like, "A day or two." It's like, you should. This is
2
your
days?
job. A flashing light should be noticed sooner.
Than 2 days.
The fact that he didn't mention it for a day or two, and then no one else noticed it for a day or two.
USGS is not on their fucking game.
Right? The Twister team would have caught
Yeah,
that
they would've caught
immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Right away.
They know about flashing lights over there.
I forgot about double feature. Do we have a double feature?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
our
we
next
do.
movie.
It's
The
Volcano,
next movie? Volcano?
Yeah.
Nice.
and that's the next movie we're doing. Volcano.
Yeah.
And did we watch this so you don't have to, or should you watch this movie?
Oh, watch this movie.
Oh yeah, watch
Yeah.
this movie.
Watch this
So
movie.
good.
It's very fun.
It's great.
Right?
It's got a little bit of. It's got something
It's
for
got
everybody.
some hiccups, but it's
Yeah,
still
you
great.
know what to expect.
Oh, I had a question to add.
Yeah.
Aside from Twister, best disaster movie.
Interesting. That's a tough one. So
'Cause
I'm just gonna.
Twister's clearly the best.
Yeah, Twister is the best one.
I couldn't think of another really good disaster movie.
No.
I mean, I don't know how high do you need the stakes, because like the Poseidon Adventure, the original Poseidon Adventure is pretty great. I don't know if that counts as it's like a smaller scale disaster because it's just whoever's on the boat.
Right.
But-
I mean, when I was talking to John about this, I said Backdraft, but he doesn't think that's a disaster movie.
Backdraft is not. I wouldn't say Backdraft is a
It's
disaster
an
movie.
arsonist, right?
Oh,
Right?
that's
Like the whole.
right.
It's not like
Yeah.
the whole
It's like
town
that.
just caught on fire.
Right,
It's
right.
Somebody setting fires, but
There's like
Poseidon
Deep
Adventure,
Impact.
Towering Inferno is a disaster movie. but it's one building, people trapped,
Mm-hmm.
everything's on fire. That's another 70s one. The Backdraft is about the people trying to stop the arsonists, whatever, so it doesn't have disaster vibes.
Right.
Towering Inferno and Poseidon Adventure. And I'm going to say Poseidon Adventure because I could take 10 minutes of dead air to think of one that I like better, but
What's that one where they have to go to the to restart the Earth?
That's
the core.
The core, where they go to the core
That
of
movie's
the
terrible.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's
Holy
bad.
shit!
But that movie is Armageddon, except they go down instead
they
of
go
up.
down.
Right.
They got to go blow something up to get things moving again, or whatever. But it's
Yeah,
the
that's
same
it.
vibe of these people know how to make Earth spin. So it's easier to teach them how to go down there than to teach the people who know how to go down there to do what they do.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's all the same. It's all the same shit. We might do the core someday. That movie's pretty stupid.
It's pretty bad.
So stupid.
I feel like the graphics in it do not hold up.
No.
I can't wait.
I remember that, not the way they did in Dante's Peak.
That is good though. Well, I'll come up with a better answer to that when we do Volcano because it's
Okay.
another disaster movie.
All right.
Because maybe I should have said Volcano. But no.
Volcano.
Poseidon Adventure is good. Also, the idea of the boat being completely upside down and having to walk
On
through
the
an
ceiling?
upside down boat
Mm-hmm.
seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
As like a Discovery Zone kid obstacle course
Yeah.
thing to play on, it seems fun as shit.
Yeah.
And Gene Hackman,
He's in that one?
yeah, he's like a preacher. It's New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one. The original is good. The remake is okay.
I saw the remake in theater.
Kurt
Anyway.
Russell's in that, so
Anyway.
that helps
Yeah.
that a little bit. But
Mhm.
All right. Is that it?
I think
Did we
that's
do
it.
I think
Right.
that's it. I think we did it.
So that was Dante's Peak. If you like what we've said, you should. I mean, the movie tells you what to expect and then meets those expectations.
Yeah.
So that's definitely we watch this to tell you to check it out.
Yeah.
Volcano is next, and I imagine the front half of that episode will be where we A/B the two a lot.
Yeah.
I like that.
Try to keep the volcano talk low on this one so it could go up on the next one because from what I remember, Volcano is pretty stupid.
It's
We won't need as much time to talk about the actual movie. But that's it. Dante's Peak, excellent. Thanks guys for being here. I forgot how to end this. It's been a month.
Meeting adjourned.
All right, meeting adjourned.